But
What happened?
we're here.
Oh, we're ready to go.
Oh,
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, REU Nation, I'm your host, Greg McDaniel.
what?
I have what?
Wait a minute. Hold
You're
on a second.
supposed to say,
Wait a
Greg.
minute.
You're supposed to say, Greg, you've gotten so much more handsome since
So
the
much
last,
more handsome.
right?
Can't
So,
even believe it. I don't know what happened.
so listen, unfortunately, Mr. McDaniel is under the weather today. He apparently has been up since 2:00 in the morning, not feeling himself. And
He
so
probably ate his dog food instead of regular food by accident.
well, he stumbles around in the middle of the night. He probably can't
Yeah.
see. He's getting older. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of things going on in his world. You're probably right. He probably ate some bad dog food and now he's paying for it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you know me by now because I've been on this show for 46 years. To my left, I think, is Mr. Nick Sakis. And we're going to
To
bring
your
our
left.
guest
Yes.
to my left, your left. Nick, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good.
So this
You
is
sure?
not we're not calling this B squad. We're calling this A squad. We're picking up the rings for Mr. McDaniel. We got a fantastic guest today with some topics that are near and dear to my heart, which is health and wellness. I've been on a journey myself the past couple of years, so I'm excited to dive in deep with that. And then obviously you can see from her background right now, she made a comment about our backgrounds being so nice, professional, but I envy her background even more because she's in a motorhome right now, traveling the world, doing awesome things. So without further ado, Gayle, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
We're good. We're glad to have you. I wasn't here the first time, but I'm excited this time.
Wait, the first time or the second time or the sixth
third, yeah,
time?
whenever-
I mean,
yeah.
how many times you been on the show? You've been on
Yeah.
the show a lot.
47 years. Is that what you said?
It's been a pleasure to be on here a few times with different faces, but I don't know, Gene, maybe is this the first time I'm on here with you as well? As Nick?
No, I'm sure we've done a couple before where I was probably, I would think when we first started this and I first met you, we were actually talking, which we will today send out cards. And I think that was back in the days with Matt Johnson and Greg, but I was third wheel. And so I probably just sat quietly and looked super handsome, but I think I was on with you. Yeah, I'm sure we did this before. Well, listen, let's get into it.
Okay.
You are a woman of many talents and verticals, let's say, right? So we kind of did a little pre-show and we talked about a couple of things, and I'm going to drop it in your lap in a second because I want you to kind of steer the conversation which direction you want to go. I know that we titled this show Health and Wellness in Your Business, and I think Nick, myself, Greg would all agree with where you're going to go on that one. But I think let's get some of the house cleaning out of the way, right? So you are an EXP agent. You also run a super successful send out cards campaign. I don't know how I'll let you term that however you want. And then, and you said entrepreneurial nomad, which I thought was interesting. So pick any of those things that you want to get into first, and let's dive into Gayle.
All right. Well, entrepreneurial nomad, I think everybody that is in business can relate to entrepreneurship. Is that on entrepreneurial nomad?
Yep.
That was actually the first time I've ever said that as well. But I'm here in Flow. Flow is our motorhome that my husband and I purchased in 2020. This is our second full season of being away from Michigan for 6 whole months. I thought, how in the heck could anyone ever be gone from home for 6 weeks? And we did that the first season in Florida. The second season, we came here to Surprise, Arizona. Happy trails, because we got pickleball here. And
Gene's got all kinds of questions about pickleball.
How in the world could anybody be gone for 6 months and still do business? And now I am semi-retired. I put my EXP license is in holding. My husband still holds a full real estate license. We run everything through him anyway. And I like to just be in the background. I say I am the best, most experienced assistant in real estate that anyone could ever have. Nice. I was a broker owner of our own company, a small company in Michigan prior to joining EXP, because this is why I'm sitting here. 4 years ago, I didn't want to be away in traveling and have responsibility. And so our move to EXP helped us to alleviate a lot of that responsibility, the shoulders of the broker, and be able to do our business as at will, anywhere we are. And just yesterday, my husband got a call. Hey, Steve, my friend needs to buy a house. Can you help? Well, I won't be home for a couple more months, but let me get you in touch with my son-in-law. So we have people in place. And so we're transitioning from that, helping buyers and sellers to referring our friends, because our business is by referral, to those that we know that we can trust to take great care of them.
That's great.
Nice.
I have a super tough question for you right now. And I do mean I think it's going to make you think about this a little bit. I don't know how often you think about it. You said something in pre-show about manifesting this, and you've wanted to travel for a long time, right? And you said, I'm paraphrasing, but you said something along the lines of, I should have done this a long time ago and I didn't. And I would love to know if it's open for the public. If not, tell me to go scratch, right? But I would like to know, what was it that held you back? Why didn't you do this 5 years ago? Why didn't you do it 10 years ago? Give me some insight on that.
Well, I think, my husband and I, we got married very young. I was 18, he was 20. In 3 years, we had 3 kids. But we were in a network marketing business way back then, 45 years ago. And so we had the dreams and the ideas of wanting to travel. We traveled with others in motorhomes. And so it wasn't until about 7 or 8 years ago, maybe 10, I started to really visualize that. Our children were grown and married and having kids of their own. And Steve and I were looking for opportunities, dreaming about opportunities. And honestly, you have to have the income in order to purchase the motorhome, in order to be gone for 6 months. And so I guess the reason we didn't do it sooner, we built up to it. Here's the key. We knew what we wanted to do and we made arrangements. It wasn't instant gratification. It took time. We had to work our way, little goals along the way, until we were able to cash out on this investment that we made, knowing that we made that investment 4 years previous to be where we were 4 years in the future, where we were able to pay cash for our motorhome, and then we were able to just go on the road. So it just takes effort, I guess. It takes effort, planning, and sticking to the plan and not giving up, not quitting.
Listen, I think that makes sense. It's like with everything we do in life, right? I have a question. I think that everybody is. This is really, Nick. You'll.
I had to spotlight you because I feel like this is heavy.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's heavy. None of my questions are going to be super heavy today, I don't think. But so, Gayle, I'd have to ask you, right? Like, I'm just thinking about riding in a motorhome with my wife, and she's one of the greatest backseat drivers you'd ever come across, right? So I think I would have to have a motorhome long enough that she would be in the way back, so I wouldn't have to listen. Turn left here, Anthony. So who of the two of you is the driver, and what's that split? And how come you haven't killed him yet?
Good question. I like it.
Well, okay. So I have not driven the motorhome. We have a 38-foot motorhome. It's a
Nice.
38-foot Georgetown, and we tow a Jeep Grand Cherokee behind her. So we named our motorhome Flo. She represents freedom, love, and opportunity. And Grace.
Love that.
Is she a marketing? Sounds like a marketing person right now.
She's Flo, man. I said everybody has to, like, your vehicles have to have names, right? So actually, her full name is Flora. Freedom, love, opportunity, and a reflection of my affirmation.
Wow.
Oh.
So Flora is an amazing gal. Amazing gal. And I have not driven. I'll take it back. We were in standstill traffic in Georgia on the highway, and Steve had to go to the bathroom. So he jumped out of the driver's seat. I jumped in, and I think I moved her 15 feet in that time. So I don't drive. I appreciate the skill my husband has in driving this beast. And people always ask me, do you ever drive it? I'm like, I don't want to right now. Like, give me a big parking lot and I'm willing to try anything.
Yeah.
I'm willing to try anything. But I just haven't yet. There hasn't been a need for me to. And as a matter of fact, we're leaving her here in this spot in Florida. And my husband just told me the other day, the greatest thing he's looking forward to about going back to Michigan, just in the Jeep, is that I get to share the driving.
There you go.
Nice.
That makes sense. That
No,
actually
it
makes
sounds like a boss move to me, if you ask
But
me.
hey, I'm the one that
let him drive.
I volunteer to go into the back, lay in the bed.
Yeah.
Oh, you're such a martyr.
Yeah.
Especially if we're on roads that scare me a little bit. I said, baby, I'm just going to go back here. I don't want to look. I don't want to look out the window. So
So wait, where are you in Florida right now? I for some reason I got the.
We're in Arizona right now.
Oh, that's what I thought you said. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first year we went to Florida. The last 2 years we've come here. I'm 3.5 hours from my mom in Palm Desert, California. So we get to spin over there and spend time with her, which is a real treat.
That's awesome. Nice. Yeah. I got a chance to drive a 36-foot RV this, I want to say over the last couple months, I guess. So one of my business partners, Brian, has a 36-foot, and I don't even ask me what it was, but we came down to Sarasota. We saw Nick and Jake and all these other guys. And, we split the time in half, which he told me was great because his wife doesn't drive it. So when they go traveling, it's just him by himself. So he was happy to have a driver, but it's not something you don't just jump in like you're jumping into a Jeep Cherokee and be like, yeah, dude, I'll take the wheel. It's a little bit of time of it's a little stressful when you first do it, but once you get the hang of it in the feel, it wasn't terribly bad. But that's good. I'm glad you at least know your limitations and you leave him be to his own vices.
That's right.
So, all right. So here's what we're going to do before we get into the meat and potatoes, which is the health and wellness and the fitness and manifestation. I want to talk to you real quick. And you can do this for 20 minutes or 30 seconds. Tell me a little bit about your send out cards business.
Well, in 2007, I received a card in the mail from someone I didn't know. I met at a networking event, and it just wowed me. I still have that card to this day. And I started using it. I didn't have anything at the time to connect with our clients. 3 years into real estate at the time, 75, a big stack of closed transactions over on the desk. And because I wanted those people to be front and center, I didn't want to forget them, but I didn't have a CRM. That was back in 2004, 5, and 6. I asked seasoned agents, what do you use? And, top producer, Agent 2000 back then. And the fact of the matter was I didn't use anything. And so when I saw send out cards it wowed me when I got a card in the mail. I wanted to wow our clients. I wanted to wow our friends and family. So started using it in 2008 to 2011. We all know what that recession was like in real estate. Houses lingered on the market for over a year. Listen, imagine having a listing for 15 months. It's just like when I think back, I think, wow, what did we come through? Both my husband and I, commission sales agents. It was kind of a rough time, but we got through that. And here's how. We focused in on relationships, and we use send out cards as a mechanism to be able to do that. And so over that course of the 3 years, 2011, the market started to turn, and we had focused so much on people that our business just lit up and went on fire. And so we've been using send out cards. I did a post during the Super Bowl the other day. I just kind of looked in my account. I said, how many cards have I sent?
I saw this.
37,516. I'll just throw that number out.
Whoa.
And then I said, well, how many months have I been in send out cards? And it was 176 months. And so that's an average of 7 cards a day every day over the last 14, almost 15 years. And so that'll give you an indication of how dedicated I have been and am in utilizing this service even today.
Yeah. So can you walk through the process of that? What do you have different campaigns, different segmented audiences? Are you just getting an idea and sending a card, or what does that look like from a process standpoint?
All of the above. And that's what I love about send out cards. I can create a campaign that goes out, a 4-card campaign after close to clients over the course of that first year after they close, a couple brownies, 4 brownies at the start, a $50 gift card 3 months in, a thank you at Thanksgiving, and an anniversary. It's all preset, about $80, $90 to send that campaign out. And then every day. Well, holidays, I'm sending, 400 or 500 holiday cards. So
Sure.
being able to create a fun card, and it's usually a personal card. I believe in showing people in our life, allowing them in and the personal part of us. So my husband's building an addition on our home. So I kind of focused on that on the holiday card. And then every day I am committed. Every day I am going to send 3 heartfelt cards every day. A heartfelt card is I see something on Facebook and it causes me to pause because there's an emotional thing. Yesterday it was seeing pictures of my grandson with his other grandparents when he was 6, I think. He just turned 13 and it was his 6-year-old birthday party and they were each holding him. And I thought, I'm going to send Dave and Sally that card with a picture of our grandson that we share together on there. And then this is Facebook memories, scroll through your Facebook. I post every day. And you know what? It's cool because every day I get to go back and look, what did I do 12 years ago on social media? And some of the pictures are just priceless. So there's a picture of the 4 of us grandparents holding 1-year-old Jameson on Valentine's Day getting baptized. And so those are the type of cards that I create and send, and I'm committed 3 every day. I don't care. The other day I sent 9 cards. Just because I send 9 cards in one day doesn't mean I don't send 3 cards the next day. And so that's just a personal commitment I have with myself. And, energy out, energy in. What you send out comes back. And every day someone's messaging me and thanking me for that certain card that they received. Some of them are posting on my Facebook, and that just feeds me, it fuels me, and it just energizes me to keep doing what I'm doing.
I absolutely love that. I need to change the title of this show. Or at least when I repost it, I'm going to change the title to Send Out Card Ninja Tricks or something, because that the process that you just described, the fact of you, like, not only are you bringing personal touch to personal relationships, you're taking something that's digital and bring it into the physical world. Like, we talk all the time about the best agents just have the most friends. Like, you are embodying that type of philosophy where I'm just friendly. I'm a friendly person and I'm doing things to acknowledge people, not for my own benefit, but just to be a human being. And so I think that's why you've probably had so much success. I guarantee that's why you've had so much success. But I absolutely love that, of going out onto social media, finding something like a memory, which is really powerful, and then tying that back to one of these send out cards. That's excellent. I hope everybody listening is taking notes and rushing to implement something like this in their business, because consistency is also the key, right? You said 3 cards a day, no matter what.
That's right. Yep. And, they send out cards, the promptings. So let's talk the word promptings a minute. Do you like
prompt engineer, like for artificial intelligence?
No, when I say prompting to you, what does that mean to you?
Artificial intelligence. That's what so a reminder.
Okay, so a prompting to me is an intuitive thought. It's like, I had a prompting to
so like you're saying, like an intuition.
Yes.
Gut feeling.
A gut feeling. So like scrolling social media and I see something, I have a prompt to stop. Prompt. Whoa, slow down a minute. Take a minute and send that card. Or it's not always a card either, Nick and Jean. Sometimes it's a video messenger on Facebook. Sometimes it's a text message. But it's a connecting with people on a very personal level and sharing your energy. My friend Cara today, she sent me, we're 4 numbers. Like, Greg, when you're watching this, 444, I'm a 4 girl. I know his number's 4. My number's 4. And she sends me this image of, circled, good morning, circled 1,444 unread emails. And I'm like, oh man, notifications boggle my mind. Right. But just I send her a video message. I said, oh my gosh, girl, how in the world do you have 1,444 unread And she responded back, man, I still need to learn how to do those messages on video. I mean, it's
Right.
so easy. The things that are easy to do,
Right.
we just don't think about it. So, hey, if you're taking notes, learn how to do Facebook Messenger videos, because when you send energy to people in those 20, 30-second little strips of time, you're making a big difference.
I have 4,413 unread messages in my inbox.
I'm in the hundreds of thousands in my spam. I have 3 Gmail accounts. The main Gmail account that I use for all my shopping currently right now has 420,599 emails.
Jeez.
Look at
So that's how you'll know if I
Here,
sign up for anything from you. Yeah,
I only have notifications on
Yeah.
Facebook. 7 email. I have 7 email notifications.
We're setting you back here by being on here.
Up, and I just got one, so now I'm 420,600.
600. That's great. That's great. Well, listen, we got to talk about manifestation a little bit. The send out cards it's one of these things. Was that Steve?
That was Steve.
Tell Steve hello. My goodness.
The driver. There he is.
The driver. Here's the driver.
Here's the guy.
Nice.
I just got back from playing pickleball.
Oh, there you go.
Steve's got
Another
so many
pickleball
questions.
reference. That's great. I love when in real time these things happen. Like people are always like, "Oh no, we're on a show. You can't be in the." No. Bring him in. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's see what Steve's got going on. So the manifestation, right? We're talking about be happy, be healthy. Pickleball is a great way to stay happy and healthy, I would imagine, even though I have not played it yet. But I want to say 2 things. So one is I actually saw, and I was looking when you were talking, I was trying to find that send out cards post so I could have given you the exact number, because I actually, before I knew you were going to be on the show today, I saw that and I was like, man, that's dedication. Like, because you did break it down by like X amount per day. And I don't know where the heck you put it, because I'm not seeing it on your Facebook or your Instagram, but people should go follow Gayle there anyway, right? But so I think that be happy, be healthy, that's a mindset, sending out your cards, manifesting things, all come from some of this stuff. And I think send out cards plays a huge role in that. But let's pivot a little bit towards some of the stuff I'm seeing on your feeds, right? So like before the show, we went in, we did a deep dive on some of your stuff. You're always at the gym. Earlier this week, there was shoulder day going on. Like, talk to me a little bit about, talk to me about your shirt, right? We kind of had a little quick thing about your shirt before we started this up. Let's get into the happiness and healthiness and how it affects your business on a regular basis. So why don't you take that any way you want? It's your canvas. So like, talk to me about Gayle and what she does at the gym.
Okay. Well, 5 years ago, this is Gayle 5 years. See, I even send myself cards.
Nice.
That's awesome.
But this is me, and it's to be continued. So
Yeah.
I actually have this shirt on today. Oh, my quad. But I was 5 years ago, I was a very successful real estate agent. Don't get me wrong, but I was sedentary. I did not move my body. I did not go for walks. I spent lots and lots of time on the computer and sending cards and eating the wrong foods. And I was tired of it. My little granddaughter sat on my lap one day and poked at my stomach and said, "Grandma, what's that?" in her 3-year-old innocence. And I said, that's my tummy. And I knew I was better than that. So I made a decision and I sought help. I went to our doctor and did a medical weight loss thing for about 6 months. And guess what? When you stop doing what you go get help, they tell you what to do and you stop doing it, you go back to your old habits, you go back to your old self. And then about 3.5 years ago, I found Coach Steve Trzek, who is an amazing bodybuilding machine and mind and body architect. And if you see what you want in life, if you want to get healthier, what do? You don't go to the movies and eat popcorn and hang out with those people. You go find healthy, fit friends that are where you like showing where you want to be. And so I hung around Coach Steve a lot online on Zooms. He's a great coach. He created a coaching program and Transformation Method 90. I've done it for 3.5 years. And it was 3 years ago, March 23rd, that he invited a whole bunch of people during COVID to jump on a Zoom exercise class. And I showed up, and I wasn't very exercisey. I didn't even know what to call. I guess I can do jumping jacks. I know how to do those, and I can do sit-ups and leg lifts, but it was a 30-minute body weight workout, and it was really hard. And it was hard enough but Steve made it fun. He was not judgmental. And I came back the next day, and, during COVID, when it first started, we thought, a couple weeks we'll be back at it. Well, it went months, and months turned into, I remember the first time he asked if I would lead a class because he wasn't able to. And I'm like, nope, can't do that. And then it was another month and a half or so. I was ready. I actually led a class. I'm like, who's this girl is leading exercise classes? Shoot, 2 months ago, she didn't even know 15 movements, and now she can spend 30 minutes. And so to me, that was the movement portion has been real instrumental in me. And I had a 557-day winning streak of daily. Talk about consistency. I am consistent. If I set my mind to something, I will be the most consistent person at it. And I got COVID in October of 2021. And, it took me down for 3-4 weeks. And so kind of raced my winning streak, and I've been building back up now. It's like, nope. It's a non-negotiable. You can get healthy by doing small things over and over and over and over again. Go for a walk for 15 minutes. Do it every day. And guess what? Pretty soon you're going to go for 30 minutes and 45. I never worked out in a gym. And I told Steve, I said, I am not a gym rat. Look at me lifting weights now. It's fun for me. I'm enjoying this in this season of my life. And so, fitness has been a real, not like a non-negotiable. Steve and I climbed Camelback Mountain this week.
Wow.
He and I went. It was a 1 mile. And it says on the thing, a very difficult climb. I've done hikes. I've never climbed over boulders and pulled myself up. And we did it. It was an hour and a half to the summit, and it took an hour to come down. And I want to talk about this for a second, because on the way up, I kept having feelings of fear of having to come down, because I know, like, I'm climbing up, I can pull myself up, but coming down, you have to be so much more careful not to where you're stepping and not slipping and landing on your butt on those big boulders. And so, but I overcame that by taking one step at a time. Coming down, I was still a little afraid, but as I went through each step, I sat down a lot. I crawled a lot, but it's taking those steps. So if you're afraid to do something, just take the first step in and just take small steps and do them over and over. You're not going to just go in and change your whole routine. Being physically fit starts with food. And I learned, because I've done 62 workouts, guys, from January 1st till today.
Wow. 62
workouts. And my weight has stayed, like I've plateaued on the little scale at the gym. And my trainer yesterday said, what do you eat? And I eat fairly healthy. But I realized I wasn't eating enough protein or drinking enough water.
Yeah.
And so what did I focus on yesterday? Protein. I had 163 grams of protein. That is a lot, because I was probably averaging 70.
Yeah.
So I doubled my protein. I probably doubled my water. And guess what? I released 3 pounds overnight. I just did a YouTube video on this, just my feelings around this, because people don't understand. They think, in order for me to lose weight and get strong, healthy, I got to quit eating. No, you have to eat more of the right healthy foods that nourish your body. And I'm not a nutritionist. I just know it works because I stick around and hang around people that are at a higher temperature in their health than I am. And I learn from them. Be a learn-it-all throughout life.
Learn it all. I like that.
Learn it
Not a
all,
know-it-all.
yeah.
But learn it all.
I like that.
Yeah. So Nick, I listen. I'm going to leave this one in your boat. I mean, you know where I'm at on fitness and health, and I've been lackluster at best over the last couple of months with the holidays and everything, and the Eagles Super Bowl, which we didn't really talk about. It's kind of, I guess I gotta stand up and say something, right? Because I was talking shit for 3 weeks. Yeah, that was a tough one, right? We're a couple days. If you're listening to this, we're a couple days after the Eagles lost that 38-35 tearjerker to the Chiefs, but you've been really on the ball lately. I think maybe you disagree because you're probably harder on yourself than anybody else is, but you've been running this game where on your Facebook feed you're pumping out your protein, you're talking about your carbs and your calories, and is there anything that I'm missing here?
No, I mean I could probably do a whole show with Gayle just on health and wellness. I mean, when it's 100% true. You get into especially real estate, right? And any small business owner can kind of have a similar effect. When you start your own business, you get in your own business, that's all you focus on. And so there's so many successful people that climb, like Gayle talks about climbing the top of a mountain. You climb the top of a mountain in your business, and then you look down and you go, oh, I have a stomach. What's that gut? Your 3-year-old tells you, what's that gut sitting there? Because you spend all your focus and energy on the business and then nothing on your health. And so there's usually some sort of transformation that happens, and it depends on what stage of life you're in. For me, I've struggled with weight my entire life. It's been a roller coaster for a very long time. I was very public with my weight loss journey during the pandemic when we all got shut down. I took that as a kind of a sign and a signal that, hey, we're all home. I might as well do something. So I was very similar to Gayle when she said she did a medical weight loss thing for 6 months, lost a bunch of weight, and then started to come back on. And so we're kind of in a very similar space. I did a program for a year. It wasn't medically altered, but it was a very, very strict, super low calorie deficit program. And as soon as I stopped doing that, I gained about 100 pounds back the year after. And now my focus is on 100% on my macros, how much protein I'm getting, and just eating a healthier diet all around. And so this phase of my journey, if you followed me on Facebook before, you probably saw me posting pictures with my shirt off, which I know a lot of you guys loved. This phase of the journey, I'm not doing that, but I am posting what I'm eating every single day. So I use the MyFitnessPal app. I track everything that I eat from sun up to sundown, and I post it at about 8:30 at night on my Facebook page to show everybody exactly the foods that I'm eating to bring everybody along this journey. Because for me, and I'm getting questions like, so Gayle, you said you've done 60 workouts in not even 30 days or 45 days. I still haven't implemented that phase of the gym yet. So I've been 100% laser focused on diet and getting my habits around the diet and exactly what I'm going to eat there till I feel good because I'm not. So this phase of my life, and you sound like you're probably similar. I'm not viewing what I'm doing right now as any sort of diet whatsoever. I am future forecasting myself as a fit person because I am an athlete inside. I was an athlete before. So I'm future forecasting myself as this person. This is the lifestyle that I now embody. And it's not cheat days. It's not anything. It's just, I wanted to find a calorie count, number one, that put me in a good deficit so I can gradually lose weight, and then figure out meal plans that support foods that I like to eat, but then also where I don't feel restricted. Because every other time I've been on a diet, it's massive restrictions with whatever, the ketos of the world. And then you over index on fat because you think you're eating just protein, and then you're still getting more calories than you need to. So there's a lot more balance involved, but I still get people asking me now on Messenger. I had one last night. Hey, what workouts are you doing? I haven't done a workout yet. I'm focusing on getting more steps in every day. The average amount that my body is moving every day, I'm trying to increase that number as opposed to being sedentary as much. So there's a lot that goes into it, but there's a lot of education. So the fact that you found that mentor is great because he can shed the light because once you are on the other side of that, and I can tell you guys, once you're on the other side of confusion when it comes to health and wellness, and you see how much BS is in the system, what's real and what's fake, you know, it can be a weight lifted off your shoulders. So I commend you for, working with a pro. I also have a metabolic trainer that I'm not 100% like, I haven't done my blood work and everything yet, but that's my next phase. Figure out how much inflammation I have in my body, what foods I'm allergic to. His name's Justin. He's great too. So we're very similar, and I look forward to following you on Facebook, and I hope you follow me back. So yeah, anybody who's listening, seek an advisor, somebody who knows, not just, it's not a fad diet. You have to manifest it. You have to future forecast it. And you have to implement the systems and be consistent, because that's all it's about, which Gayle, send out cards or weight loss. It sounds like you're just
Dialed
doing
in.
it. Yeah. Perfect.
Listen, I think I need both of your help actually these days, because I'm up. The COVID, what I call it, the COVID 40. Is that what they call
I think so.
COVID 40, not COVID-19, COVID 40. But listen, I don't think we got enough into it. I mean, I even said to my wife the other day, it's like, if I just go 4 days without drinking anything, like not a beer or a glass of wine, by the second day, I feel like I can conquer the world. I'm getting more done. Like I actually can feel it. And then when I tie on eating better, I feel even better. And then when I hit the gym, you might as well fight me in the street, because you ain't gonna win.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, but it's funny that I remember when I realized that I felt like shit, but didn't know I felt like shit. I just thought I felt normal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys have similar stories. I want to say it was back in 2012, and I was 215 pounds sitting on my couch, and I was super sedentary too. And at the time, 2012. So my daughter was probably, maybe it might have even been a little earlier than that. She was probably about 6 years old. And we were talking about a picture that I had hanging on my wall. And it was a picture of our wedding. And first, she couldn't figure out why she wasn't in it, number one. And second, she wanted to know if I was going to be at her wedding. And I lied to her. And I was like, I will be, sweetheart. Yeah. And in my head, I thought, not if I keep living like this. I'm going to drop dead in 4 years. So that was actually the moment, like Gayle, like your story, when your granddaughter was sitting on your lap and asking about your stomach. This was my moment where I was like, this is a gut check for me, literally a gut check.
Yeah.
And I had to do something. So, I mean, I don't like, do you have any tricks, Gayle? Like, cause I know people are listening and they go, oh, easier said than done. Right. 60 to me, waking up 60 times in a 45-day span is overwhelming, right? You go to the gym 60 times, I like, you know what I mean? Like, any tricks when it comes to diet? Do you talk to yourself? Do you coach yourself? Do you have any mantras you do in the morning, or do you lean on people? Do you call Coach Steve and he's like, stop being a bitch, Gayle, get in the gym? Like, what are your tricks there?
Yeah, well, Coach Steve would never call me a bitch.
Well, I didn't mean that probably.
Way to go.
Canceled. Saying that to Nick. I
no, I have to say that it's just really knowing what I want in life and knowing how I want to feel. I had a frozen shoulder. This shoulder, I couldn't even do this. I couldn't reach back. And I went through physical therapy. I went through, just eating well. I remember asking my doctor, I have Steves in my life. I have my husband, Steve, Dr. Steve, Coach Steve. And Dr. Steve, I said, what am I going to do about this? And he was going to, say PRP, platelet-rich plasma injections in my shoulder to free it up. And I asked him this question. I said, if I eliminate sugar from my diet, will that help? And he says, yes, but most people aren't willing to do that.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. Sugar is in everything. So,
and I will tell the audience, the book, It Starts with Food. It Starts with Food is a really great book. I get it on Audible because my daughter even said, Mom, if I had to read this book, I wouldn't get past the words. And, it's medical, but they give so many examples and like it's something that you need to listen to a few different times, but you get it. And if you, the Whole30 diet is elimination of sugar, grains, dairy, alcohol, and legumes. And I'm telling you, if you just eliminated sugar and flour from your life right now, most people think as they get older, they get knee pains. They got to go get a knee replacement. They got to go get shoulder replacements. Honestly, that's inflammation in your body. I'm guessing. I'm not a doctor, but
Right.
for me, it was inflammation, and I am pretty much inflammation free right now at 62, almost 63 years of age, and I had my bout. So the secret is to eat right and then do something, move every day. And Nick, I love that the fact that you're just, you're watching your steps and you're getting just getting more. You have that commitment. Transformation equation is this: R times C squared plus T is greater than S. R is your responsibility. It's your responsibility to take a hold of your life. The two C's, R times C squared, commitment and consistency. If you make a commitment and you stay consistent to it and you give it time, it's not going to happen overnight, folks. You didn't get where you were overnight. So it's taken years. So give yourself years. When I look back 5 years ago, I did not see myself as I am today 5 years ago. I didn't have a clear vision of who I could be. I just knew I wanted to feel better. So my success where I am today is success. So responsibility, commitment, and consistency and time are greater than my success, because when I do that, when I do the equation, my success happens. When you are committed and you are consistent and you are responsible, making your calls for business. If you say you're going to do something, have personal integrity and do it. Personal integrity is another thing. If I tell myself, if I promise myself I'm going to work out every day and I don't, nobody else needs to know that I didn't work out. I do. It dings my own personal integrity. So doing that. And if you want to talk about manifestation, so January 10th, I got an Instagram message from an associate producer of The Amazing Race. Have you heard of The Amazing Race?
Oh, yeah.
And he said, "Hey, have you ever heard of The Amazing Race? I'm an associate producer. I was wondering if you'd be interested in applying for The Amazing Race." And I thought it was a hoax. And so I wrote back, a couple messages and kind of deemed that it was, maybe it's not a hoax. So I had a phone call with Alex. Alex and I had a good conversation. I hadn't watched The Amazing Race in years. We used to watch it with our kids when they were little, 35, 40 years ago. And now, he's asking if I want to apply for it. So I said, "How did you find me?" And this was interesting. And this is about your social media, how you present yourself. This is the manifestation. What you're putting out is what you're getting back. He said, "I searched hashtags fit over 60 and I found your profile and I wanted to chat with you." So we watched 2 seasons of The Amazing Race and we got on a Zoom call. We actually applied. Steve and I sat here in Flow and did a 45-minute interview for The Amazing Race. And I don't know, we might find out this month, and maybe I'm not even supposed to tell you, and I don't really care. He said, "I'm going to take this 45-minute video and put it into a 2-minute audition tape and give it to The Amazing Race." I did not go seeking that opportunity. And this is what I want people to understand is when you are living your life in joy and happiness and vibrancy, and you're putting yourself out there, you will manifest back into your life what you're putting out there. So if you don't like what you're seeing in your own life right now, then it's up to you to make the choices in your life, to make the changes, to make it different.
Listen, I think that is where we drop the mic and leave it. I can't believe it's been 45 minutes.
Happened fast.
It did happen really quick. Yeah, it
We
did.
have to have her back on for sure.
Well, we could talk all day about this fitness stuff. I'm sure of it. But listen, Gayle, I before we drop, why don't you tell folks how to get in touch with you?
Facebook is probably the best way to reach me. You can search YouTube, Gayle Zientek. I put myself out there as Gayle Zientek, and just follow along. And if you send me a friend request, I don't know how many I have left to give, but just follow me and tell me, send me a message, say, hey, I saw you on Real Estate Uncensored, and I'm interested in learning more about health and wellness. I'm always open to having a conversation, and I believe that I'm attracting people into my life that need to have me in their life.
Yep.
Whether it's coaching, send out cards, or coaching health and wellness, this is who I am. This is who you get.
Well, listen,
Nice.
all I can say is, oh, my quads. All right. So listen, Nick Sakis, there it is. I love it. Nick Sakis, tell the people how they can get in touch with you, and then we're just going to wrap this baby up.
Yeah. NickSackis.com or all the socials. Nick, Sakkis.
And if you've been watching the show long enough, you know that you can't get in touch with me. I'm off the radar. Until the next episode, Gayle, thank you so much for joining us. This has been Real Estate Uncensored. Have a great week.
See you guys.